Good morning. Good morning to everyone, especially those of you here in the congregation and to our folks who are participating live on YouTube for the April 24th Sunday service at the Unitarian Universalist Church of St. Petersburg. My name is Morgan Gresham, and I am on the RE committee here. I'm thrilled and a little terrified to be leading worship alongside with other members of the RE committee who are not terrified, thankfully, as well as the wonderful volunteers like my husband that I dragged into being worship associate this morning. Also, it is never too early in the service to ask for more RE volunteers. RE would love your help. Michael, you're on.
Thanks, Morgan. Good morning, everyone. My name is Michael Pohl. I've been a member here at UU St. Pete since our sound technician was 2 years old. We are a people of many beliefs, but we share a common faith that what we do in this world matters, that we are connected to one another and to our planet. Whoever you are, wherever you are in your journey, you are welcome here. I want to give a special welcome to any newcomers. If you want a church where we explore the mysteries of life together, I have good news. You may have found your church home. I'd like to invite everyone to join us for an outdoor coffee hour following church service today. And we will also have a new member class today at 1 p.m. in the library just outside the sanctuary to your right.
Thanks, Michael. Today's worship is entitled Awakening to New Perspectives. It is the fourth in this month's theme of awakening. I am grateful to so many people who helped pull this together, especially John Arton, James Mack, Rebecca Wilson, and Annie Hall, and all of you who will be singing, and along with Aaron Cassette on the piano. Kelly Olson and Marissa Pohl are live streaming our service for us today. Our greeters, Karen White, Linda Paul, Aaliyah Cannon, and Jamie Gray. Our RE volunteer is Elle, and Janae is going to be helping out both in the service and with RE because she is that amazing. Let's take a moment to center ourselves for worship. Let's breathe. Our flaming chalice is the symbol of Unitarian Universalism. It is a symbol of hope, the sacred, the quest for truth, the warmth of community, the light of reason, and so much more. While Rebecca lights our chalice, I invite you to say our covenant out loud. The words can be found in the text chat if you're online. They're probably in your order of service if you are here in the congregation. And if you like, you may choose to follow along with the hand movements. Love is the spirit of this church, and service its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Now, if you are able, please stand for our hymn, Morning Has Broken. It's number 38 in the gray hymnal. We do hope that you will sing along.
Like the first moon.
Now we come to a special time in our service when we think about what makes us happy, what makes us sad, and how we can share those feelings with each other. Today, Jade is placing one stone in the water to represent our collective joys and concerns. While she does so, let's take a moment, think about what's happened in our lives this week. What are we thankful for? What made us smile? What was difficult? What made us hurt? All of the sadness and happiness we experience makes us who we are.
This is especially for the kids. I hope they'll sing with us, but I hope everybody will sing. You'll know it.
Feel free to stand up too if you feel like it.
If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands.
If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands.
If you're happy and you know it, then your life will really show it. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands.
Then your life will really show it. Your life will really show it.
Yeah, right. If you're happy and you know it, sing a song.
Sing a song.
If you're happy and you know it, sing a song.
Sing a song.
If
If you're happy and you know it, then your life will really show it.
If you're happy and you know it, sing a song. La. If you're happy and you know it, shout yay.
Yay!
If you're happy and you know it, shout yay.
Yay!
If you're happy and you know it, then your life will really show it. If you're happy and you know it, shout yay.
Yay! That's it?
That's it.
Our first reading is by Alice Walker from The Color Purple. Have you ever found God in church? I never did. I just found a bunch of folks hoping for him to show. Any God I ever felt in church, I brought in with me. And I think all of the other folks did too. They come to church to share God, not find God.
That was a heavy concern. Can they see the lyrics?
There should be some lyrics available for you on the screen.
So this is to the tune of Frere Jacques, and it's kind of the Socratic method. It's asking, where is God? It's not telling anybody, but it's asking you to think, where is God? Should we sing it as a round, or should we just sing it?
Sure.
Maybe we could sing it through once so they get
Let's
the
sing it
words.
through a couple of times and see how it goes. Where is God? Where is God? Anywhere, anywhere. Is God in the music? Is God in the flowers? Is God in you? Is God in you? Where is God? Where is God? Anywhere, anywhere. Is God in the music? Is God in the flowers? Is God in you? Is God in you? All right, should we do it as a round?
Yeah.
All right, follow wherever you want. Where is God? Where is God? Anywhere, anywhere. Is God in the music? Is God in the flowers? Is God in you? Is God in you? Where is God? Where is God? Is God in anywhere, anywhere? Is God in the music? Is God in the flowers? Is God in you? Is God in you? Once more, where is God? Where is God? Anywhere, anywhere. Is God in the music? Is God in the flowers? Is God in you? Is God in you? Is God in you. Thank you.
Thank you. Is this working? I've been here
Check.
16 years. You'd think I'd figured it out by now. So we're going to try something a little bit different with Time for All Ages today. I have props. Or television? I'm not sure. Something. So our story is Hide and Go Seek with God. It is a story by Marianne Moore, or it's modification of her story. We shortened it just a tiny bit. And this is in the UUA curriculum. So, once upon a time, God went to his friends and said, I'm bored. Because I don't have anything to do. Could we play something? Good idea, they said. What should we play? God thought for a minute and then said, I know, let's play hide and seek. Everyone agreed. So God's friends closed their eyes tight and then counted to 10. When they opened their eyes, they all went off to look for God. One friend decided to look in a meadow. He stopped to admire the tender new sprouts of green grass pushing their way up toward the sun. As he bent to look more closely, he realized there was something special and amazing and wonderful about it. So he jumped up and ran back to home base, calling out, God is green and growing. I found God in the grass. A second friend looked around, and she also felt the mystery of the grass growing toward the sun. She thought to herself, these mysteries are special and amazing and wonderful. But when she finally came back to home base, she said, I found wonderful mysteries, but I'm not sure if I want to call them God. A third friend looked in town. He saw a group of people coming out of a store with bags of food. When someone came up and said, please, I'm very hungry. Could you share a little food with me? The people readily agreed. And as he watched them share, he realized there was something special and amazing and wonderful about those people. He ran back to home base, calling out, God is love and sharing. I found God in people who care for others. A fourth friend decided to look in a house, and in the house, she saw a room, and in the room, she saw a mirror. As she looked into the mirror, she realized there was something special and amazing and wonderful being reflected. She turned around and ran out to home base, calling, I found God. I found God in me. At this, God appeared and said, I had so much fun. Weren't those good hiding places? Some of you found me. Others weren't sure. And others are still looking. That's okay, because the most important thing is to just play the game. Let's do it again. I'm sure I can think of other good hiding places. And they all called out, Ollie, Ollie, oxen free! And the game started all over again. Ollie, Ollie, oxen free! Time for kids to go to RE.
guys. Our second reading is also from The Color Purple by Alice Walker. I think it pisses God off if you walk by the color purple in a field somewhere and don't notice it. People think pleasing God is all God cares about, but any fool living in the world can see it always trying to please us back. I think us here to wonder myself, to wonder, to ask, and that in wondering about the big things and asking about the big things, you learn about the little ones almost by accident. But you never know nothing more about the big things than you start out with. The more I wonder, the more I love.
You're on the road, must have a code that you can live by, and so become yourself, because the past is just a goodbye. Teach your children well, their daughter's hell will slowly go by, and feed them on your dreams. The one they picks, the one you know by. Don't you ever ask them why, if they told you you would cry. So just look at them and sigh. I know they love you. And you,
Can you hear
after
and do
years,
you care?
can't know the
Do
fear
you see
that
you must be free
and so
to
please
teach
help
the
them with
children
your
you
dreams,
believe
the one
they'll
they
make
fix,
a world
the one
that we can live in.
Teach your parents well, their father's hell will slowly go by, and feed them on your dreams. The one they fix, the one you know by. Don't you ever ask them why, if they told you you would cry. So just look at them and sigh. I know they love you.
Now we're going to have a reflection in two parts to showcase the collaborative nature of RE. First, I'm going to speak, and then Janae is going to come up. I grew up attending the Episcopal Church and going to Catholic school, and I enjoyed the rituals I found there, but not enough to keep me invested in church. I was in high school when the novel and then the movie The Color Purple came out. I saw The Color Purple in the movie theater 13 times, so it kind of resonated with me. This is back in the day when I was like, oh, $20 to go. The idea that God, little g God, whatever that may be, could be everywhere, or big G God, could be the color purple, could be anything, resonated. In college, I took many women's studies classes where I learned more about womanist spirituality like Alice Walker's, and I participated in pagan rituals. Despite finding a kind of solace in these, I was looking for something more, but not actively. Only after having kids did I return to the idea of looking for something churchy, something to help me explain to my kids the things of the universe that I didn't understand. I first attended this church in October 2007. It's all Jill's fault. My friend Jill McCracken invited me to the Halloween service. Sounds strange, but something about seeing everyone in costumes suggested I'd found a place where I might find that something more I was looking for. When we signed the book after our UU 101 class with Reverend Manish asked what I hoped to get from joining, and my response has stayed with me. I'm looking for something to believe in. And as a Gen Xer, we're famously non-believers. I'm still looking for something to believe in, and I am now, some 16 years later, getting the language to describe what I do believe in. I want to pull from a couple of things Reverend Ben has said over the past month that have helped me name how I see this as a spiritual home. Ben reminded us a few weeks ago about Alice Walker's insistence that we, individual by individual, bring our small, imperfect stones to the pile of activism, and that by so doing, we are compiling, creating, building hope. And that hope is an act of faith. Faith has been hard for me. I don't think that I believe in big G God or little g God or goddesses. I've had difficulty calling whatever it is that I do have faith. Ben reminds us of the Apostle Paul's definition that faith is the substance of things hoped for. But I do believe in the things hoped for, and of going through the motions, doing the work, showing up, covenant. I believe in doing. To me, that's everything. That is how, in my first ever RE committee meeting, with Jill, by the way, back in, check my notes, oh, that was 2008, Jill. I agreed to help with the Easter egg hunt. 300 eggs, 15 baskets. This year, 150 eggs, 15 baskets. And to co-chair the RE committee for the coming year. Jill and I did that. That was in 2008. My children were 6 and 2 then. I have continued to show up for RE ever since. My kids are 17 and 21 now, but I am still in covenant with RE. Last week, Ben talked about planting bulbs that we'll never see. And Trish, even though she's not feeling well, came by to bring us some of the bulbs so that I actually have them for my prop and the kids will be planting them later. That the work is not easy or quick. We don't yet know what RE is going to look like for the future. In my time here at UU St. Pete, I have seen RE with 30 kids, active and involved, and I've also seen us with only 3. We have raised money for a playground equipment that we never got to install. We have raised the playground because of safety concerns. We have planted and removed and replanted gardens in the space where the playground is. We have done a lot of bringing imperfect stones of hope that we hope will be the spiritual home for other families in need. If RE at UU St. Pete is going to thrive, we're going to need to lean into some of the things that we do have to make up for some of the things we don't. We don't have one path to God. Rather, we have many. In our children's RE program, we can offer families many ways to discover their own spiritual space. Like Alice Walker says, they come to church to share God, not find God, because God is us. We don't have an outside playground for our kids, so we'll need to find ways to keep the kids active and engaged in our services. We can plant these seeds today for the different types of worship that are active and accessible and joyous. Realistically, we don't have the volunteer power to run the number of classes we need for a thriving RE program, so we need to have the budget to pay teachers. These are seeds we can plant. Our church has a bountiful social justice program, and our Gen Z friends in the community want just those meaningful ways to support their communities and the world beyond. We can plant these seeds of justice here. Our faith has a message that everyone needs to hear, especially our trans and non-binary youth who are hearing so many messages other than this. Don't give up. You matter. You matter. We can plant these seeds of hope by reaching out, offering our physical spaces for conversation and connection, and our spiritual nourishment. Speaking of growing, I would be remiss if I did not mention the Green Thumb Festival that is taking place today at Walter Fuller Park. Every year, Dolores Benjamin, a stalwart of the RE committee, would stand up at Joys and Concerns and remind us about the Green Thumb Festival as something that would be a good activity for kids, planting seeds. And right now in RE, kids are planting out in the garden some very real seeds with Al. I personally have trouble with plants. They never seem to live very long around me. It's true. But a garden can have plants and stones, even when the stones are little and imperfect. And now, Janae.
Good morning, good morning. My name is Janae Johnson, and I am with RE, obviously, and communications here. And Morgan has been with RUU and has dedicated so many hours to our RE program. I'd like to give a round of applause of appreciation for Morgan. And Michael. Miss Trish Harding, who has also been with RE for years, went home a bit early this morning. She wasn't feeling too well, but I still want to extend another round of applause, and thanks for you, Miss Trish. We see you online. I myself, I grew up Jehovah's Witness and Christian, and in some way, shape, or form, through the grace of God, I was led here. I had no idea that this church even existed. It just appeared one day, and then I stayed, ever since I came. So I have a quote by Alan Watts. Enlightenment or awakening is not the creation of a new state of affairs, but the recognition of what already is. I believe that if, on every Sunday morning before going to church, we could be lifted to a mountain peak and see a horizon line of 600 miles enfolding the copious splendor of the light on such a varied expanse, or if we can look up upon a square mile of flowers representing all the species with which the creative spirit embroiders a zone, or if we can be made to realize the distance from the earth to the sun, the light of which travels every morning 12 million miles a minute to feed us and bless us, with the force of gravitation also pervading us without intermission to hold our globe calmly in its orbit and on its poise. If we could fairly perceive through our outward senses one or two features of the constant order and glory of nature, our materialistic dullness would be broken, surprise and joy would be awakened, and we should feel and live amid the play of infinite thought, and the devout spirit will be stimulated so potently that our hearts would naturally mount in praise and prayer. That is a quote by John O., a graduate of Starr King. When we look into the eyes of a child, we see a universe of possibilities. We see an unlimited supply of energy and love. When I say energy, I have to reiterate, energy that specifically siphons a particular part of us, and we're drained. Kids do that. Also, their love of the spirit of the sprites, their uncharted bliss and giggles. When is the last time you giggled? Like really giggled, like the frolic of skips. How many of us skip anymore? We forgot skipping. Kids skip, and they frolic, and they pick the tiniest of flower and say, here, the cute little fingers, like, wow, thank you, you thought of me. The essence of this light, it is our responsibility to nourish it and to take care of their light. So when I say who holds the light, you have to say, I am light. So who holds the light? I am light. Like the spider's web, we are all connected. Even in the furthest reaches of the web, we are still connected. Like last week with our wonderful representatives of the 7 principles, be the example to a child of who you wish you would have had when you were little. Listen to the way you wanted to be heard when people told you or shut you down with, it's just a phase, or it didn't bother me so it shouldn't bother you, or I got it through just fine, I'm not affected. We carry so many filters from our own experiences, we find ourselves not acknowledging that this time period, this fragment of time, as a child, as a youth, as a teenager, that's when all of those filters actually formulate. Their foundation is being set right here, right now, with the presence of each of us. What example can we hold for our youth? Based on that perspective here, how can we facilitate broadening their perspective for their inherent worth and dignity of all? How can we be present for who they are now and adjust to the person that they grow into? In order for our community and our program to continue to thrive, we must uphold our covenantal leadership by also formulating multi-generational relationships. Like last week, I had Reverend Ben dressed as an Easter bunny. We are a church, so naturally, spiritual development within the beloved community plays its part. Our youth build what is to be the future. So what seeds can we plant today for tomorrow? What messages can we give our kids? So again, I'm going to ask you for your participation. Can you shout one word that you would like a child to hear, something that is meaningful? Anyone? Love, joy, peace. What else? Oh, happiness. All of these things. What's another one? Wonder. Oh, they have an imagination, don't they? You buy a toy, you buy a big motorized car, and they will play with the box. Every time. Cats do it too, they'll just play with the box. So, each of these words are seeds. We don't know what those seeds are growing into, but the intention of love and compassion is within these words that we plant within these children. I will end this poem with the help of our inner children, because we're still the little people in there. We just forgot. It's okay. But when I stop, I would like for you to say, I am light. So I'll just gesture you. Through the darkness and shadows I thrive. Through the illumination that peers through the trees. Through the depths of the ocean deep. As far as the eyes can see. You gotta be light, really feel the light. I am light. No, say it, I am light. We're here today in this space, I am light. You gotta say that. Because if the kids were watching, they're just like, I'm not convinced. They were children before? I'm not sure. I'm gonna do it again. To thank the stars and the moon of the close of each day. That's what I'm talking about with passion. We carry our candles daily. We pass on our light because. We live by our light because. And we are light. Say it all together. We are light. We are light. Now I ask that you take your candles and give light every day. Don't give too much to where your candle goes out. Always replenish yourself. But remember, be the change that you wish to see in the world. My favorite quote. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Janae. Hello? Is it on? Sorry. Oh my gosh, there we go. All right. Hey, thanks, Janae. All right, our church relies on your generosity. If you are a newcomer here, please refrain from making a donation. This service is our gift to you, and your presence is your gift to us. The offering will now be given and received.
Thank you all for your generosity. Now feel free to follow along with the hand gestures as Michael extinguishes our chalice. The words to UUSP's traditional chalice extinguishing are in your order of service and online in the text chat. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of love, or the fire of courage. These we carry in our hearts and out into the world. And now, if you're like my students, you get 15 free minutes and you can go outside and play. Thank you all so much for coming. Please remain seated if you would like for the postlude or walk out quietly.